and that's to drive action that ends extreme poverty and powers Africa's clean energy future. And it all unfolds just hours before South Africa hosts the G20 for the very first time on African soil. From President Cyril Ramaphosa to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, some of the world's most influential voices will address this particular gathering. Well, let's get a sense of the key themes of discussion there. Newzroom Afrika's Qaanitah standing by for us. Qaanitah, good afternoon to you. Climate finance and I'm imagining the just energy transition, those are probably going to be some of the key themes. Take us through what you know right now.
It's all about scaling up renewables and how to get 10 million households in the developing world hooked up to clean energy by the year 2030, which is just 5 years away. Now, the Global Citizen Now Summit is the biggest forum that's aimed at ending extreme poverty. You'd seen it happen all over the world. The first time this forum is happening in South Africa with a focus on clean energy, which President Cyril Ramaphosa will address. You'll see it's a hive of activity. Young people, academics, business people, all mulling around. But with me, I have Minister of Electricity, Ramaphosa. Thank you very much for your time. It's all about clean energy here. Is it a bit ambitious to say 10 million households hooked up to clean energy by the year 2030?
No, thanks, Qaanitah. I mean, if you look at the numbers, there's 600 million people who don't have access to electricity. Mission 300, a combination of philanthropy and governments on the continent have committed that we want to have that by 2030, get 300 million access to electricity. And of course, we have said that Africa has got renewable energy resources. I mean, we are unmatched. I think 60% of solar irradiation can be derived out of the continent, and yet the level of investment in renewables, especially solar, is just 1% of the total value of what has been invested across the globe. So it's important that we must concentrate our efforts to ensure that Africa, that has got huge renewable energy endowment and also the biggest gap with regards to electricity access, is the one that is front center of our initiative. And that's why this collaboration here is meant to do that. I mean, bring it closer to home. 1.8 million households don't have access to electricity. We will be unveiling a program now in Musina where we are showcasing 2 villages, connecting them using a combination, a hybrid solar and battery storage to power the electricity requirements of that area. So the long and short of it is that yes, it's doable. There must be policy alignment, and the money must be available, and that's why philanthropies and the DFIs are very key, and our ability to implement quicker will be central to the success of this program.
Minister Ramaphosa, the Global Citizen Now Forum happens on the sideline of the G20 Leaders Summit that will begin formally tomorrow. But yesterday you were part of talks with the European Union where a landmark agreement was signed around this particular issue of renewable energy. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh yes, a big part of that is about critical minerals and beneficiating closer to source. I mean, if you look at the minerals that are going to undergate our decarbonization agenda are found on the continent. The copper, silica, lithium, the rare earth elements, manganese, all of them are on the continent, or the majority of them are on the continent. So what the landmark agreement says is that Europe also has got an ambition to decarbonize. They need to minerals and beneficiated minerals to go into the components that manufacture the solar PVs, the wind turbines, EVs, and also battery. So what the EU said, which is landmark as you make the point, they've agreed that no, we'll beneficiate at source. What does that mean? We'll be able to industrialize, we'll be able to create jobs, high-end skills, increase the incomes of the countries, because the more you beneficiate, the greater the value of the product, and therefore the taxes that are levied on that are significantly higher, and then you can redeploy that capital in other social infrastructure. So it's key that we are moving away from, if you like, the era of colonial extraction, but these partners talking together and ensuring that, in fact, those that are closer to where the minerals are found get to beneficiate the most. And in that way, we leave no one behind.
The President's going to speak now at the Global Citizen Now Forum. There will be a mixture of international leaders, government representatives, celebrities. What, for you, is the best outcome of such a forum?
Well, it's a coordinated response by private sector and the public sector. And the private sector, really, it's a combination of your DFI, really the family of the financial fraternity, and also philanthropies. What we are seeing now increasingly is that there's a lot of philanthropies, if you like, money, old money that is going to be deployed for altruistic ambitions, just to improve the ambitions of humanity, ensure that humanity is able to achieve its potential. So once we have that in one room, of course, public sector ensure that there's a proper policy alignment. Then you need the liquidity of the private sector. The philanthropy is cheap money, and in that way we are going to achieve our ambition. And I think the citizens what will be articulated here is an excellent example, a template that is required for us to be able to end energy poverty and the inequities with regards to electricity access.
Thank you very much, Minister Ramokgopa, talking to us about the Global Citizen Now Summit that is underway here in Sandton, Johannesburg, and the sidelines of G20 activities. President Cyril Ramaphosa will be speaking in a little bit. We're going to head in, and thereafter he will then rush downstairs, where there will be a discussion with the UK Prime Minister about the Global Fund, which is a different event, and we will be there too.